It was definitely a fun weekend down at State. They always do a great job of hosting us there. Fans are great. They really take care of us. Um, and you can't beat the weather. It was 75 to 78 and sunny all weekend. And we started off on Friday morning at 8:15 game. Tough game to play. We showed up and it was completely dark. Lights were on. We warmed up with the lights on, and then we played our first pitch with the sunrise coming up. And our bats came out on fire the first game. We hit better than we've ever hit this year so far. Clutch hits, do execution, moving runners, doing the little things that we needed to do offensively. The one negative was that we didn't run the bases really well. The score could have been a lot worse than it was if we would have been smart base runners. So that was one of those things that we took from that game to make sure that we get better at. Ellie Dowdy did a nice job pitching that first game against UIC and got out of a lot of jams. We got ourselves into some situations, but we were able to make a play or make a pitch to get ourselves out of it. And that first game was a great start to the weekend against UIC. In the afternoon game, 3 o'clock, it was the first game of the ASU day. They always play their doubleheader on Friday, 3 and 7, and good crowd. They did what I told our players that they would do is they pitched their number 2 against us because it wasn't the primetime game. So Dallas Escobedo, who is their number 1 pitcher and arguably one of the top 3 in the country, she won a national championship as a freshman, and we knew that they would probably pitch off, and they did. And Fish did an unbelievable job against one of the better hitting teams in the country for the whole game. She did a wonderful job, kept us right where we needed to be. We got a clutch 2-out hit middle of the game and took the lead, and you could just tell that the crowd was quiet. They didn't know what was going on. We were outplaying them. They did what a number 3 team in the country would do, and that's scrap back, and they got that run back, and they tied it up, and then they got 2 more, and so they took a 3-1 lead, and I think everybody in the place thought, oh, this game's over. But it wasn't. Gina Brown led off the next inning with a solo home run, and you could just see him get really nervous, and we saw Dallas run out to the bullpen and get warmed up really quick, and they did everything they could do to stall and get her warmed up. They did. They made the pitching change. She came in with a 1-run lead, and one of our freshmen, Kristen Locke, who's been doing a great job offensively for us, making adjustments, buying into the system, doing everything that we're asking her to do. You could just tell she had paid attention to our scouting process in this whole thing, because we scouted Dallas Escobedo. We watched her on video. She knew what she was going to get. And when she got into the game, Kristen Locke hit a solo home run off the scoreboard and tied the game back up. And it was, once again, the crowd, I don't think they knew what was going on. And, our kids just did a nice job of fighting back. And then in the top of the 7th, we were the home team in that game. And the top of the 7th, they scored 2 more. And that was just too much once Dallas got on, and she ended up striking out the side in the last inning. But our kids did a great job of, once again, going toe-to-toe with one of the top teams in the country and not being afraid and playing hard. And it was just a great learning experience for them in that second game. It was a tough loss. Fish did a great job again, deserved a win. And I know our kids were disappointed after that game because they thought they believed they could win. So on Saturday we played day-night doubleheader with Minnesota. They have a pitcher, Sarah Moulton, who's really gave us fits for the last couple of years every time we've played against her. She doesn't do anything special. She's just one of those pitchers where as a hitter you have to be very, very disciplined, and you really have to buy into a plan. You can't sit there and guess, because she will do what she did to us on Saturday, and that's frustrate you like crazy. But we did a good job in both games, defensively and pitching. Fisher deserved to win again in that second game. We just couldn't get a clutch hit we would get ourselves in positions and to score and just not come up with a clutch 2-out hit. And they did. They hit a 2-run homer in the 6th inning, and we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't get ourselves back over the hump with going against Sarah Moulton. So Saturday was kind of a downer day. A couple of games that were close that we had chances that we just didn't cash in, and then yesterday was much of the same against Michigan State. A great game. They scored 1 run on a 2-out base hit, and that was the only run that was scored. We had bases loaded in the 1st inning and nobody out and couldn't cash in. We did a great job of putting ourselves in position. We just couldn't get that big hit. And I think once we start believing that we can do that, and unfortunately I think this team needs to see a result before they believe they can do it. Once that happens, I think offensively we'll start to gain a little steam here, and you look at our stats, and I can't remember the last time we hit under 200 as a team. So we're struggling a little bit offensively, but we're struggling not in the physical ability. We're struggling in the making sure we learn how to think, and the mental side of the game is really where we're struggling with at the plate. But pitching and defense, we're doing a great job, and we know Fisher's going to keep us in every game. I think it's just a matter of believing that we can. If you look at our losses, we have 7 losses, and in 6 of those losses, the opponent scored a run in the 1st inning. And with a young team, when they get behind, they haven't got that feeling or that belief that, hey, this isn't over. That's the one thing right now that we can see is that they got to make sure that they don't put too much pressure on themselves as individuals, and they have trust and faith in their teammates that they can pull through, and that when they get themselves in those tight spots that they don't see it as an obstacle that they can't overcome. So we're learning. This weekend was another great weekend, playing great teams, and we got a trip to look forward to this weekend to Arkansas, Central Arkansas. A couple more really good teams that we play down there. We're going to leave a little early, beat that snowstorm, get down there, and hopefully get this thing back on track this weekend. Any questions?
Who are the teams you'll see this weekend?
We've got Grambling. We have Arkansas Pine Bluff and Central Arkansas. Creighton's also down there, so we'll play Central Arkansas twice. And then also Ball State is also down there. So those will be our 4 games. Central Arkansas twice, Grambling, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Ball State. So, like I said, hopefully get us back on track before we head back down to Arkansas to Fayetteville the following weekend. Any other questions? Thank you.